Well, hello everybody, this is Larry, and this time I'm here during the day. And you can see John Ives is over there. Say hi, John.
Hey everyone.
Look how little he is compared to the facade. By the way, that is a Scare Factory Slayer. It just happens to be covered at the moment. Hey, are you gonna uncover that today? Or could you uncover it now?
Not till I'm done distressing.
Okay. So we're gonna keep distressing, and then we're gonna put some characters back there, you know. And anyway, so this is Monster Mansion, and we talked a lot about getting this thing ready to go for the 2024 Halloween season. So this used to be our Krampus haunted house. We have now gotten rid of it, and so we're going to talk a little bit about, and so you can see that from the side, but we're going to talk a little bit about a scream park. What is a scream park? Let's talk about what is a scream park and what is the difference between, say, the Darkness and Creepyworld. Let's talk about what is the difference between Darkness and Creepyworld, and this can apply all over the country. And we're going to talk about which one's better. Which one should you visit if you were only going to do one haunted house? And let's talk about the Lemp a little bit just for a second. Lemp is a lot like the Darkness, meaning that it's inside of a building, completely inside of a building. And but the difference is that the Lemp is in a very unique location. So when people think about the term haunted house, the first thing they think about is some really cool building that's abandoned. Now, by the way, we're going to take a look at some cool stuff along the way. On our Instagram, this particular animation blew up and got millions and millions of views. And you can see it's here, and it's set up right here at our haunted hayride here in Creepyworld. But Lemp is the stereotypical, I'm looking for an abandoned, I'm looking for a really haunted, I'm looking for a scary location for a haunted house. Lempery is it's in that, like, it's in a category by itself where people take, and there's another animation right there. It's in a category by itself, ultra scary, ultra cool location that they're hard to find, and they're hard to put haunted houses in. So when you go to the Lempery, you go down, it's deep underground, it's like in a cave, it's very cold. Yeah, it's like steaming hot in St. Louis this week, but I guarantee you go down to the Lemp and you need a coat. There's another, because we're in the hayride, and the concept of this hayride, and see what that is, can somebody tell me what that is? That's the Amityville. And then right here is the Headless Horseman. So the whole idea of this hayride is like trick or treat. It's the concept is, you know, everything bad in the neighborhood lives here. See, there's the Wicked Witch. And oh, and here, see, this is the, you know, the covered bridge for the Headless Horseman, who's in animation. He's over there. And so that's what the Lemp is, okay? And in the haunted attraction industry, there's a lot of haunted houses that are in those kind of very unique locations, okay? Now, in most cases, they're not necessarily the best haunt because a lot of times people heavily rely on the natural atmosphere. And at Lemp, we do rely heavily on the natural atmosphere, but it has some drawbacks. One, you know, in the summer it's very wet down there, and it kind of like destroys stuff. Hey, can anybody tell me what house this is? This is Pennywise's house. And see, there's Georgie on the porch with this deflated balloon, and we have CGI effects that goes in the windows. And we'll get all that up and running before the season starts. So those are cool haunted houses, especially if you want to go into like a place, like when you watch YouTube videos, you really want to go into a place like that. That's what the Lemp is. The Darkness is more of your Midwest stereotypical haunt, like it's in a warehouse, it's in an old grocery store, an old department store, something like that. And it's all manufactured from scratch. You're not relying on anything natural to the location. Because what's scary about just an old warehouse? Well, absolutely nothing. Oh, look at that. We're on the Creepyworld Haunted Hayride. Look how tall that is. Let's see, I'm gonna get closer. You see his hand? I'm 6 foot tall. See how big that is? That thing is just gigantic. Now, but there's differences when it comes to a haunted house, like the Darkness, and there's different levels to your traditional haunted house. Your traditional haunted house will be built into a warehouse. Usually they're one big long attraction, never ending. You know, different themes in the 90s, early 2000s. I would say they would be a mishmash. Freddy Krueger, Friday the 13th, you know, Hellraiser, Leatherface, you know, just clowns. The Darkness is like 3 haunts in one, really 4, because our whole outside area is loaded with actors and they run around and scare people. But the downstairs is like a gothic haunted house. The second floor is like a haunted mansion. And then the last part is a clown theme. And technically it's 5, because then you have the horror museum, which has the really cool horror gift store, and there's all kinds of things to take photo ops with, and so on and so forth. Okay. And the Darkness is on a whole nother level. Okay. The best way for me to describe it was, if you like candy, you would want to visit Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, you know, like right out of the Gene Wilder movie, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. You would want to visit that. And we're back here checking out the facade on a Saturday, being painted, trying to get Creepyworld running. The Darkness is just like, it's on a whole nother level. Okay, there's over 160 animatronics, probably over 200 special effects, detailed Hollywood sets. It's just like, it's like Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory. If you like Halloween, you're gonna love the Darkness, because it's the ultimate Halloween experience. You remember in the movie Christmas Story when they're gazing into the window, and they're looking at all the toys? That's what, if you love Halloween, that's what the Darkness experience would be like. But you know, of course, these monsters jump out at you, they try to scare you. Lots of live actors, unbelievable sets, unbelievable animatronics, special effects, you know, and everything. And we've added a lot to the Darkness. Like, one of the big things we added was a flying rig. So now we're gonna have actors flying overhead, gliding in the ceiling. It was a big investment. And by the way, here is our new ghoul band at Creepyworld. And this is like our main queue line, okay? So when you go to the Darkness, you're gonna have like the ultimate sugar spike, okay, experience when it comes to experiencing a haunted house. Like, everything you could ever imagine in your mind would be inside. Now, when you go to a scream park, and that's Creepyworld, typically they're indoors and they're outdoors. And if you go to our Haunt World channel, you'll notice that we've covered a lot of scream parks, behind the scenes tours on our Haunt World YouTube channel. And we've gone to a lot of them, like say Field of Screams, for example. Now, that's an indoor and an outdoor, because it has indoor haunts and it has outdoor haunts. Now here we go. As you can see, this is with no lights turned on. There's pumpkins everywhere. We're trying to get everything set up here. And this is a scream park, okay? So it's multiple attractions in one location. And sometimes they have tiered pricing, meaning like you can experience these attractions for this price, and you can add this and you can add that, okay? And that's like what Creepyworld is. So Creepyworld has 7 haunted houses. It has a haunted hayride. It has a jack-o'-lantern festival. It has a walk-through monster museum. We'll go out and just take a brief peek at that. It has a monster midway. It has a ghoul band, you know, in the queue line entertaining people like a dead zombie band. And it has a 5-minute escape. And by the way, the Darkness has a 5-minute escape as well. But it also has one of the best escape room facilities in the country next door to it, which is St. Louis Escape. So Creepyworld also has this thing called the Pumpkin Barn, and we'll look at that right now. That's that thing right there. So the exit of Creepyworld is right here. That's the last haunt. And you walk out into this haunted midway, and you can watch a horror movie that would be playing. So you can take photos with big monsters. We have a big retail store. We have a food stand that actually works both sides. This is our 5-minute escape. It hasn't changed on the outside, but it's changed on the inside. That's our Halloween barn. And this is our monster selfie museum. And it's absolutely free. You just get in line, you take your camera, and you go inside. And you can take pictures with all the monsters. Now, we'll walk inside of this, but there's not a whole lot done. Okay, very little actually. Some of the props are just sitting in here, and you can see there's nothing in here. Now you're probably wondering, where are all the monsters that are going in the selfie museum? Well, they're not here right now. Some of them have already arrived. Everything is shipped to the Darkness, everything. So one big shipment of cool monsters was delivered to us on Friday. We didn't bring it down. And then another one is being shipped late next week. And it's gonna be absolutely filled with monsters, totally filled with monsters. So when you come to a screen park, you should expect to see multiple haunted houses, typically like a hayride or a haunted forest or something like that. A lot of times you'll see that they have like a haunted corn maze. That's a screen park. So it's a really diverse mix of haunted houses. And like when you look at Creepyworld, there's 7 haunted houses. They're all different themed. Like, for example, one is themed as an asylum. Another one is themed as a hospital, a funeral home, a military zombie outbreak. Another one is the new Monster Mansion. Another one is a haunted schoolhouse. And the last one, I think if I've named them all, is called Camp Blood. It's like a Friday the 13th, you know, where everybody's getting killed as they go camping. And so those are the themes. So how does a screen park renovate itself every year? Well, when it has 7 haunted houses, a hayride, a monster selfie museum, so let's count them down. So that's 7 haunts, a hayride, that's 8. The selfie museum's 9. We have the pumpkin barn over here, that's 10. We have the ghoul band, that's 11. We also have Scare Zone, because we have actors that run around all the queue lines and scare people, so that's 12. We also have an escape. We have a merchandise store. We have the drive-in 666. Depending on how you add all this up, or if you just say it's a haunted midway, there's like essentially 13 attractions, 13 different things you'll experience out here at Creepyworld. And that's a screen park. So how do you renovate a screen park? Well, I can tell you how we renovated Creepyworld. We added the selfie museum. Why did we add the selfie museum? Because everybody wants to take pictures of stuff. They want to get their pictures. If they go to a haunted house, they want to be able to experience, they want to be able to remember it or share something to their Instagram, their Facebook, or whatever. So you want to give them something to take a picture with. So when people are in our haunted house, we don't tell people they can't take a camera, but if you have fog and things are moving really quickly, they can't get a good video. But when they get out, you want to offer a lot of cool monsters that they can take pictures with, and that's what we've done. The Jack-o'-lantern festival, see, that's another attraction I forgot to mention that's here at Creepyworld. So when we really added up, okay, 7 haunted houses, a hayride, that's 8. The Jack-o'-lantern festival's 10. The selfie museum is 11. The ghoul band is 12. The escape room 13. The pumpkin barn 14. I don't even know if I keep forgetting things. You got scare zones. You know, that's a screen park. Okay, so the way you renovate these attractions, instead of trying to like change the whole thing, every year we pick something that's like getting old, getting dated, getting worn out, and we totally get rid of it and start from scratch. So we add a whole new haunt. And maybe, and say in this case, this year, we added a lot of improvements to the hayride, a lot of big animatronics, new sets. We replaced an entire haunted house. We added the selfie museum, and we added the ghoul band. So, and we changed the 5-minute escape. So that's a lot of stuff. But in terms of like straight up scares, we added one whole entire new haunted house. In 2023, we added 2 new haunted houses. We took out one haunt and we added the haunted schoolhouse, and we also took out our 3D haunt and we added the slaughterhouse. Now I actually think the slaughterhouse is the best haunt here. And by the way, that's a haunt that I forgot to add, that we have the slaughterhouse. So I knew there was one I forgot, but that was it. So last year we added 2 new haunts. But you're also just like, you know, improving a little bit here and there. But one of the big things about a screen park is you got to start really early, you know, in the spring, to start repairing, because they take a beating, because like I said, they're indoors and they're outdoors. So they get a lot of rain, they get snow, they get weather changes, and things get rained on. The other thing that sucks about a screen park is you got to take everything that's, you know, that's outside and put it away. So this Jack-o'-lantern festival over here is just a nightmare to put away, to put back out, to put away, to put back out. But when you go to the darkness, that's why those indoor haunts overall are better, like haunted houses, because they're inside, they're protected from the weather, they have tip-top air compressors, tip-top electric, tip-top everything, and you're just constantly improving. Everything that you add to it, like, literally stays exactly where it's at. It doesn't get damaged. I mean, from wear and tear, sure, but not from weather, rain, sleet, snow, ice, okay, and all those things. So an indoor haunted house should be, in most cases, a better haunted house than what a screen park would have to add. Now, what a lot of screen parks have done is they've built shelters or erected tin buildings to put these haunted houses in and leave them up year round. And we have the same thing here at Creepyworld. All of the haunted houses have an indoor part of it and an outdoor part of it. And so the outdoor part stays up and operating year round. Okay, when I say year round, it doesn't operate year round. It just doesn't get taken down. So that helps. That helps. But these outdoor screen parks are so giant, so massive, they literally will take an operator 6 to 8 months just to set them back up, and to take them down and put them away for the season could take up to a month. So you spend about a month in November taking it down, storing it, and then literally it sits there probably for, you know, December, January, February, maybe March, and you start putting it all back up again. And that's a screen park. And that's what it takes to run a screen park. And so what it really comes down to is which one is better for you. You know, I would tell you, in my opinion, you know, I like the screen parks better because they are indoor and outdoor, and especially when it's nice and cool outside and the weather feels like Halloween, you kind of sort of absorb that. I also like the fact, and some people don't like this, you know, that there's multiple queue lines. So you go through 1 or 2 haunts, you're back in a queue line. Some people don't like that, but it is a way to break the groups up again. something that you don't like typically see in an indoor haunt. Now, so which one is better? Lemp, Creepyworld, The Darkness. Most common question that is asked. Which one is better? Because I only want to go to one. It's impossible to say. If you want to go into like a musty old cave where it looks like you really are in Dracula's tomb, Dracula's castle, well, the Lemp would be the best one. If you're trying to look for the most authentic, scary location that essentially looks like it's abandoned, well, that would be the Lemprary. If you want to go to the one that has the most, you know, ghost story type stuff connected to it, with all the Lemps committing suicide and everything like that, you would go to the Lemprary. Okay, if you wanted to have the Willy Wonka, like, I want to see the ultimate sets, the ultimate special effects, the best costumes, actors, masks, and so on and so forth, right? I want to, and by the way, the Darkness also has a massive retail store. We have one here, but it's nowhere near on the level of the Darkness. We have stuff at the Darkness that's just really hard to find, like large scale replica dolls and all kinds of stuff. And yeah, I mean, the Darkness would be the one to go to. If you want to have the experience that's the longest, that's the most diverse, that has the most actors, because it absolutely does. It's absolutely the longest, and you want to have that experience where there's just a lot more different things going on. It would be Creepyworld. So it's almost impossible to say. That's why we offer an ultimate screen pass, which our customers get a massive discount for ordering all 3 haunted houses. I mean, they literally save like 50% to go to all 3. And we do it in a way, because I think when you sell like a screen pass, people think they got to go to all 3 in one night, and we don't do it that way. They can pick any night they want. So they can go to Creepyworld one night and then go to Darkness and Lemp on another night, because Darkness and Lemp are on the same street. So we offer that as an option as well. And that seems to fit a lot of people who can't choose. And then they could look forward to visiting 3 different haunted houses. Now, you know, another thing that I get asked a lot is, you know, about, say, for example, like a Six Flags Fright Fest. What would be better, coming to Creepyworld or Six Flags Fright Fest? And what would be the closest comparison to a Six Flags Fright Fest? Would be Creepyworld. Which one's better? I mean, that's a joke, okay? It's not even close. It's not even remotely, like, they can't even be compared, okay? I think Six Flags is great. They've got rides, they've got roller coasters, and that's their main asset. As far as haunted houses concerned, I mean, like, you can't even compare the two. They're not even, that would be like comparing you know, like a little mongoose to a lion, okay? Like, who's gonna win that? I mean, like, that's not even fair. But like, to me, Six Flags Fright Fest or an event like that, some theme parks do a lot better job than others. Some go all out, like Universal Studios Horror Nights. But one of the negatives on, like, say, a Universal Studio Horror Nights is so many people go, you know, people complain, and we break groups up. That's just a straight conga line. I mean, it's just a straight conga line. They're putting you in as fast as they can. So they're not going to be as scary, for sure. A theme park haunt, it's not going to be as scary, for sure. But, you know, you got more going on. You know, and you can consider it like a screen park, because you have rides and you have multiple attractions. And like I said, some theme parks are going to do it way better. Some are not going to do it as good. But this is what I can tell you for sure. Okay, a haunt like the Darkness, there is no theme park that has a haunt like that. I don't care which one it is, where and which theme park in the world you go to, they're not going to have a haunted house as good as the Darkness. And I'm not just saying the Darkness. There's probably 100 haunted houses across the country that are better than anything that a theme park is doing. The difference is they don't have as many assets. So again, when you're trying to figure out what you want to do, It really boils down to what it is you're looking for. I love Universal Studios. I absolutely love it. I think it's the greatest theme park in the world. I haven't been to Universal Studios Horror Nights in 10 years. Is it because I don't like it? No, I think it's absolutely fantastic. It's because, you know, hey, I'm working at my own haunted house. And to me, you know, it's cool, but it's nowhere near on the level of a haunt. Like the Darkness, and I can name many others, like let's say 13th Gate in Baton Rouge. You're talking about a haunted house that's been there for almost 30 years, that's just piled and piled and piled upon with new props, new sets, new everything, and it's never taken down and thrown away. Like most of the Universal Studios haunts, I think almost all of them are literally taken down, thrown away, and then they build them from scratch. You can't compete with something that's been there for 30 years. They have so much stuff, so much like layers to that cake. That haunt is outrageously cool. Or a haunt like Haunted Overload out there in New Hampshire. That haunt literally is left up. And so every year they come in and they add more and more and more and more stuff, okay? So yeah, Haunted Overload, there's nothing like it in the world. Now, if they had to take Haunted Overload down completely every year, I can tell you that what level would it be at? It would be 25% of the experience you will have when you go to Haunted Overload. It would be 25% because you spend so much time just setting stuff up. And that's what most theme parks, you know, they have to do, is they take it down and they set it up from scratch. Any haunt that is taken down and put back up from scratch will never be as good as a haunted house that can be left up completely. And now Creepyworld and many scream parks across the country have figured out ways to leave the infrastructure up so they can just focus on the set design, the special effects, and you know, and the theatrics part of it. So they're literally mostly set up. And you can watch the video on Haunt World channel, because I went and visited Field of Screams and we walked through the whole thing before they ever opened. So you can clearly see that it's mostly set up, but it still takes them 6 months or more to get it back up and operating for the season. So I hope this helps you figure out what kind of haunt you want to go visit this year, what kind of experience you want. And there is nothing wrong with going to a theme park and experiencing like a Halloween, you know, fun time with rides and everything else. Like, for example, Silver Dollar City, they don't do haunts, but they do this pumpkin festival, and it's absolutely fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. It's just a different experience. And every type of haunted attraction, whether it's in a forest or a scream park or a haunted house or an indoor haunt or a real type of location haunt, all of them are going to offer different experiences. And so hopefully that helps you decide what you want to do this Halloween, or what kind of haunt, if you ever got in the business, what kind of haunt would you want to build? Now, I will tell you this, out of the 3 that we have, which haunted house does the best? The Darkness, Lemp, or Creepyworld? Well, the haunt that does the best is Creepyworld. It outperforms the Darkness, even though the Darkness is considered one of the best haunted houses in the United States, in the world. Creepyworld is the #1 haunted house in St. Louis. I will tell you that we put the most time and effort into getting Creepyworld open, because with the Darkness, every year we gut a whole section and redo it. And even though that takes a lot of effort and a lot of money, you're working within and controlled environments. We've been working out here at Creepyworld, and it has literally been 100 degrees in many days. This is not fun, and it's not productive. Whereas when you're working in the Darkness, you're not getting rained on, there's no mosquitoes, there's just so many better attributes to it. And then when you build something, it doesn't get ruined by the environment. So the darkness is obviously, out of the 3 haunted houses, scenically, special effects wise, is the best of the 3. But the biggest experience and the one that people like the most would probably be Creepyworld, and then it would be the darkness, and then last would be the Lemp. So thanks for watching the video, and I want to remind everybody that Halloween is coming up, and we do sell combo tickets. You can get a ticket to the darkness and Creepyworld and save, and you can use those tickets on different nights. You can get a combo ticket to the darkness and Lemp. They're on the same street, and literally you could go to one and then go to the other, or you can get an ultimate screen pass. Now you can visit all 3 in one night. A lot of people do it. I just suggest being at the attraction right when it opens, literally be there, first person in the door, and then you'll have plenty of time to get to the other 2. Or just get an ultimate screen pass, come to one, look forward to going to another day, and then another day. So we have gone back on our ticketing, and look at this. I keep finding screws, and I look for them all the time. But we keep updating all of our haunted houses. We spend a lot of money, and this is probably the biggest renovation we've ever had to Creepyworld. And I mean ever, with our new haunted house. I would say in total for that haunted house, we're gonna be into it for about $150,000 just building that one new haunt. But I'm gonna add it up, and we're gonna do another video where we're gonna start at the beginning, go all the way through it, and take a look. So, yeah, John's over there. He's continuing to paint, continuing to try to get this thing done so we can open for the 2024 Halloween season. Now, one of the things this thing is missing, which it was supposed to have, is a sign that says Monster Mansion. So it's gonna be a late addition that we're gonna have to add when it's all said and done. But that's all she wrote for today. If you want to learn more about our haunted houses, you can go to scarefest.com. There's our new haunt. And you know what we did here for our new haunt is, you see, we added these coffins, and they're not where they're supposed to be right now because we were installing this facade. But we're going to add them, and so that you can lean in them and your friends can take a picture before you go in. So we're gonna put lights in there. It's gonna be really cool. We might even put a fog machine in it and like have fog like brimming out of it. And in case I wasn't clear, this thing right here is a big giant animatronic, and it's actually gonna be moving around, and you're gonna have to walk through its mouth. Although there is another way in too, which is over here. You can literally do either way. But there it is, and we're getting ready. You know, just because I just thought about it, we stagger opening our haunts, and so let me tell you why we do that. Because the darkness will have ready to go first, and then it'll give us 2 extra weeks to try to get Creepyworld done, and so we can just focus on Creepyworld. So whenever we're trying to open the darkness, we're only focused on the darkness to get it open. Then we'll only focus on Creepyworld to get it open, and then the following week Lemp will open, and then we can spend that whole entire week focusing on the Lemp, making sure all the I's and all the T's are dotted, crossed, and everything else. And that's why we stagger open them. And so we don't open them all at the same time. Darkness opens first, then Creepyworld, then the Lemp. The darkness is probably the easiest one to open. But I have to say something to you guys. Like, we have been going crazy trying to get Creepyworld open and the darkness, because we have and trying to install all new air conditioners in there, because there's certain parts of it that get really hot even when it's cool outside. And we're just about to get these air conditioners turned on. They were supposed to be turned on Friday. They're still not turned on. We're still working on the darkness. We're still trying to get it ready to go. And this is what it's like every September, every August. It's insane, insane, insane. And so here at Creepyworld, we got to put the doors back in. We had to take them out so we could get a lift in here. We have literally been up here on ladders replacing all these light bulbs, every one that's burnt out. And we're gonna try to get this thing open very soon. So you can check us out on Instagram at Scarefest. We want to thank everybody who's been following us, because we got I think we're almost up to like 80,000 followers on Instagram. Thank you. And then give us a like on YouTube, and we're gonna have more videos coming soon from Creepyworld right here. Oh, by the way, you see this? This is something new that's gonna be at Creepyworld. One of the things that slows us down is telling everybody the rules. Now this will. We got this new animation right here. See, we did a concrete pad for it. We just press a button. The animation tells everybody the rules, so we can be loading people on the car, on the wagons, while the animation zombie tells the rules. So until then, everybody, and I will say this. We had a Bobcat here at Creepyworld. I don't even know, for like 18 years we used that thing. We ran it into the ground, blew up the motor, and we had to buy this brand new one. You can't even think about opening a screen park without a big old Bobcat. And so this was a big expense for us last year to get this Bobcat, because between this and the trailer for it and whatever, I mean, we spent like 80 grand. But we can't get this thing done without it. And so we hope you come out and see Creepyworld Darkness and Lemp this year. You can get tickets at scarefest.fearticket.com. Woo! Or just go to scarefest.com. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. We're going to have a whole bunch more videos coming your way from Creepyworld.